This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, welcome to your virtual volunteer orientation. This video will introduce you to the Sierra State Parks Foundation, as well as what to expect being a volunteer with Team SSPF. My name is Denise. I'm the Events and Communications Manager. A little bit about myself. I'm originally from Los Angeles, and I attended this academically vigorous college preparatory high school that had a prerequisite to graduate of 50 volunteering hours. That's where I discovered my passion for philanthropy. I graduated with over 200 hours of volunteerism. I went on to graduate from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo with a bachelor's degree in environmental management and protection. My first job was with the UC Davis Tahoe Environmental Research Center as an AmeriCorps member. I was so sheltered that I actually thought Lake Tahoe was going to be a miniature version of Los Angeles. Needless to say, it's not. I still fell in love with the area, met my now husband, and after completing my service year, I decided to stick around. I found the Sierra State Parks Foundation, and I've been with them for almost 3 years now. I'm so happy to be part of a wonderful team and still giving back in a positive way to my community. So let's dive in to the volunteer orientation. The Sierra State Parks Foundation is your local nonprofit park partner. Our mission is to preserve, restore, educate, and advocate. We believe that the California state parks in the Lake Tahoe-Donner area are worthy treasures of our support. We fund restoration projects and education programs that connect visitors to our rich cultural heritage and natural resources. Because of our work in advocacy, our parks will continue to be places of inspiration and education for generations to come. Here are our key staff members. We have Heidi Doyle as Executive Director, Brian Hurley as Business Manager, myself as the Events and Communications Manager, Monica as our Communications Coordinator, and Rose Payne as our Retail Manager. I will be your go-to person if you have any questions or feedback or anything like that. We will possibly be adding on a AmeriCorps member who will take on a secondary role as support for volunteer management. There are a couple of different opportunities for volunteerism with Team SSPF. A majority of our opportunities are actually our fundraising events. Typically, we ask volunteers to help us set up and break down. You can also escort guests in a car. We have community outreach opportunities at tabling events, and that's where we let the community know the great works that we have going on and any upcoming events that they may be interested in. At these events, we're generally serving food and wine, and if we have auctions, we'll need help with managing that. So any physical requirements or any other kind of requirements are typically if you can be on your feet for a couple hours, even though we usually provide a chair for our volunteers, and able to carry about 15 pounds of weight. And if you are a car escort, that you have a valid driver's license. Don't worry too much about these roles because you can sign up for whatever you prefer, and instructions will be provided day of to make sure that you are comfortable in your role. You can sign up for these opportunities with the website that I will show you right now, and it's a really good idea to be on our volunteer email list to receive first word about any opportunities that we have and needs that are to be fulfilled. So the website is sierrastateparks.org/volunteer. You can also reach us on the front page and just click on volunteer to get to this page. Basically, you sign up here, and this will take you to the volunteer email list. You just fill that out and sign up for it. And if you already are signed up as a volunteer, this is where you can sign up for opportunities. So if there is a date or anything that you prefer, you just click the boxes that you are interested in and go all the way down to your submit and sign up. Once you fill that out, you'll receive an email confirmation and we'll know that you are going to be helping us with certain events at times and dates. We'll also have special projects that are sporadic with foundation needs, and that will be posted on volunteer emails. Other volunteer opportunities include if you want to become a docent at one of our historic homes and give tours or administrative work, just let us know. We can help out with that. Moving on, here are some locations to know. The SSPF office is located in Tahoe City. Donner Memorial State Park is in Truckee, and whenever we have events there, we usually meet at the Visitor Center front desk. Then we have Sugar Pine Point State Park, and it's important to know that there are two sides to the park. There's the day use or lakeside, and the campground, which is not the lakeside. Usually we have our events at the day use side, and I will always send an email as a reminder, and usually that email will have a map of where we meet up. Then we have DL Bliss State Park. We always meet at the first parking lot you see, and it's by the Visitor Center and the main highway. Whenever we have any kind of event at Emerald Bay / Viking Stone Castle, we always meet at the DL Bliss parking lot. It's a great meetup space that's only less than a mile away from the back road that we take down to Emerald Bay. So I cannot stress enough how important our volunteers are. We fundraise, and it wouldn't be possible with the tiny team that we have. We wouldn't have capacity for it. Having volunteers help out at these events make it possible to even host these events and pertain the idea of having these events. The funds that we generate at these events are distributed to priority projects to maintain the historic homes and facilities, education programs like the Junior Lifeguard Program, and grants to support the state park staff with whatever needs that they have, because they do face a budget gap. And lastly, we fund park staff, such as interpreters and curators, that can provide services like campfire programs that may not necessarily be first priority for our parks. Policies and procedures. So to become a volunteer with SSPF, you're supposed to sign up with a application form. It's optional, but definitely helpful to sign up with the volunteer email, do the orientation, You can also request a volunteer buddy who is just a veteran volunteer who can help you out with your first event so that you feel comfortable enough in the situation, and then just sign up for whatever shifts you like. We're super friendly, I promise. Always sign in and out with myself or the volunteer coordinator at your shift. Not only is this a safety thing, but it also helps us keep track of your hours for when we do recognition programs with our volunteers. Usually in the emails that I send you days before the shift that you're signed up for, it'll instruct you or remind you about our dress code. You are representing SSPF after all. Usually it's either an event t-shirt that we provide at day of, or it's just a white top with black bottoms or all black. And this is just to designate that you are a part of the staff and that attendees know who to look for when they require assistance. When we're working around historic artifacts for structures, it's important to be cautious. We want to preserve these timeless and historic pieces so that they remain intact for all us to enjoy. And then we also ask that volunteers do not consume alcohol during our events. This is a safety thing, so if there was an emergency, it would be an issue if anyone was inebriated. And I just want to make a quick note that if you ever see Heidi, our executive director, with a wine glass, it doesn't necessarily mean that she's drinking it. It could just be for show. And just again, stressing that this is an important policy so that we can all remain safe. In case of emergencies, stay calm. Our first priority is the safety of our guests and volunteers. Relay the emergency to the volunteer coordinator, and that person will call the park ranger. Here is the phone number for the park ranger if you ever need it, but remember, it is only for true emergencies. We don't want to take up a ranger's time or resources if that is not the case. We hope you have fun. If you have any questions, here's my email. And again, this is the website that I showed you, sierrastateparks.org/volunteer, so that you can sign up for our email list or any shifts that you want to partake in. Thank you so much.